Ken Ishii is a Japanese uh, producer and DJ. He's from northern Japan. It's He's from Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan. And so, Jelly Tones. Um, I wanted to review an album, a techno album that I haven't heard before, and so this is one album that I've and artist that I haven't um, heard before. I mean, I have to admit, I saw the actual picture, the anime on the album cover album. I've seen it many times at the CD store, but there was always some kind of different album I was looking for or different artist, and I always overlooked it. And but but it's a very popular um, album cover with the anime, a guy with some goggles and looking into the sunset, or I, I guess that's I. There's also an anime video, um, which goes along with the first track, Extra, um, and it apparently it won awards. Um, it won Best Dance Music Video for MTV Europe in 1997. And it's a pretty good anime video for Extra. Although I have to warn you, it's not for kids. So just that's fair warning. But so let's get into the album. The first track, Extra. I mean, I guess that's the most popular song off the album. Um, I have to admit, the first time I from the time that I started listening to this album, I've listened to it 3 times already. And the first time I was kind of thinking, is this techno or is this drum and bass, or jungle? And it's unique in its own way. For one thing, it's created by a Japanese producer, and of course, techno music started in Detroit and is most popular in coming from Berlin, Germany. But this one is actually a techno producer from Japan. So the first track, Extra, um, after the thing I have to say is that after the second listen, right after the second listen, the third listen, um, I started to like the tracks. I kind of got into it, and Extra is a really good song, and the second song, Coco Mousse, is I don't like it. It sounds like there's a rabbit, or not a rabbit, but a a frog jumping, and that's what it makes me think of. But a lot of people say that Coco Mousse is one of their favorite tracks off the album, but I disagree. I don't like Coco Mousse, even after listening to the album 3 times. The first track, Extra, is really good. It's it's not it kind of builds, you know, and but Coco Mousse doesn't build it. It just goes around, and it's like a continuous loop, which you hear little ambient voices here and there, but Coco Mousse doesn't do it for me. The third track off the album, Stretch, now that is a really good techno beat. I mean, when I think about Detroit techno or techno in general, Stretch would be it. Um, of course, this is Japanese techno. But Stretch is the third song off the album is really good. Um, Ethnos 9, it's okay. The better one of the best um, songs on the album, in my point of view, is Frame Out, and also Moved by Air. And Pause in Herbs is pretty good too. It's kind of like a trip hop beat. Um, I imagine myself walking through the forest while the music is playing. um, yeah, and then Endless Season, it's kind of an ambient track. It just repeats itself, but it's a slower track. After listening to all the other um, songs on the album, which are very upbeat, um, Endless Season, it ends with uh, like an ambient track, which, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but I, if I had to rate the album, well, I would give it probably 7 out of 10. Um, it has its moments. With the first track, Extra, then Stretch. So Extra is good. Mousse, I don't like. Stretch is a good song. Ethnos 9 is, well, um, forgettable. But Moved by Air is a really good song. And then there's like these three tracks on the album that are one is good, the next one is good, and then the third one is good. And that it starts with Moved by Air, then goes to Pause in Herbs, and then Frame Out. Those three tracks on the album are great, including Extra and Stretch. So if you like techno music with a little bit of like it's not exactly like Detroit techno, but it's definitely imaginative, and it's really, I would recommend it to anyone. Um, the Ken Ishii, he is a DJ and producer. Some of the information behind Ken Ishii, he wrote the music for the opening ceremonies at the Nagano Winter Olympics in 1998, and then of course he won best dance music video for MTV Europe in 1997. So this is an album that I did not hear before, and after listening to the album 3 times in a row from start to finish, the album really does tend to grow on you, and if you listen to it, I guess you'll see that at first it sounded kind of like drum and bass, but then I listened to it a second time and I said, okay, well, it is techno music, and it's pretty upbeat, and I guess that's all I have to say about the album. If you like this review, let me know. And if you like Mousse, if you're one of those people that like the second track off the album, then put down in the comments the reasons why you think it's a good track. To me, it's just it sounds like a frog, a continuous loop of a frog, and and I mean it's nice, but not so nice. It's kind of almost like an ambient track. I don't know, because ambient keeps repeating itself, but not that techno doesn't. But yeah, I just don't like Kokomus. But let me know if you do, and put it in the comments down below. And thanks for listening to this review, and we'll catch you next time on the next album I review. Please subscribe and hit the bell button to give you reminders when I upload. Thanks. Bye bye.